If you're on the hunt for exciting new adventure games to play this month, I've got some good news, because April 2025 is looking pretty stacked, and I've chosen 5 of this month's upcoming adventure games to go through with you, including one in particular that I've been eagerly awaiting for a few years. And we're starting here with Elroy and the Aliens by Motiviti, a game I know quite well as I made a first look video of the demo back in November. This is a hand-drawn point-and-click adventure game set in the year 1993. You'll play as 2 characters in this game: Elroy, a rocket engineer whose father mysteriously disappeared 18 years prior to the game's story, and Peggy, an investigative reporter who plans to interview Elroy, but gets dragged into a crazy adventure. The 2 of them are inadvertently launched into space as they look to track down Elroy's father, but stumble upon an evil threat at the edge of the universe. Complete with full voice acting, over 60 locations, and puzzles that have a range of accessibility options built in, this game will take around 10 hours to finish, so you'll get plenty for your money here. Elroy and the Aliens comes to Windows, Linux and Mac on the 2nd of April. Now, if you want an adventure game with a cozy vibe, then this one is well worth checking out. It's called Harold Rabbit, Finder of Lost Things, and it looks incredibly cute. In fact, it reminds me a lot of some of the adventure games I played when I was a kid, and that's backed up by the game being suitable for all ages. I can definitely see my eldest daughter having a wonderful time playing this one. You will of course play as Harold the Rabbit, who's always dreamed of becoming a rabbit detective, and now he has the chance. Teaming up with his sidekick, a bumblebee named Maud, Harold decides to spend his time helping people find things that have been lost. Unfortunately for Harold, his next case is going to be very close to home, as it's his own trumpet which has decided to go walkabout, and he'll have to use his detective skills to find out who took it and why. The game is fully hand-drawn and is designed to be fun and entertaining, with some light comedy thrown into the mix too. If you're looking to get your own children into adventure games, I feel like this could be a great entry point into the genre for them. Harold Rabbit, Finder of Lost Things comes to PC on the 4th of April. Next up, we've got a game that I think has the potential to be very special indeed. I've actually played the demo for this a lot of times, and I made a first look video of it that I sadly lost the footage for. It's called Blueprints, and it's one that I think you could probably sink many hours into without realising it. The game is set in a mysterious mansion called Mount Holly, but this place has rooms that move and change based on your own choices. When you come to a locked door, you get a set of choices for what you want the next room to contain, each of which may contain different resources, tools or puzzles. As the player, you become the heir to this mysterious house, and the goal is to find a way to room 46. But the game has a time mechanic. When a day ends, the house layout completely resets, meaning you'll run into huge differences when the next day starts. There is a way to combat this using an upgrade that allows you to make permanent changes to the house's blueprints, but they're very difficult to find. There's a story embedded in all of this too, that you'll slowly have to piece together as you make your way through Mount Holly, full of mystery and perhaps something sinister. Blueprints comes to Windows, PS5 and Xbox on the 10th of April. Now, just a little heads up before we move on, the next game I'll be featuring contains a fair amount of gore, so if that's not really your thing or you're watching with children, you may want to skip ahead. It wouldn't be an exciting month for adventure games without the release of a horror adventure, and this month we have The Flayed Man. This is a relatively short narrative experience, taking around 30 minutes or so to complete, but as I've mentioned before several times on this channel, I don't think that's a bad thing. If done properly, a short adventure game can be far more impactful and memorable than a longer adventure game that just feels drawn out. This game has multiple endings too, which gives some replay value, subsequently extending that game time anyway. You play as the Flayed Man, who wakes up in a decaying house which reminds me a little bit of the Upside Down from Stranger Things. The Flayed Man doesn't have any recollection of who he is or what he's done, but it's your job to discover that. You'll have to piece together the atrocities he's committed and decide what his fate should be. I really love the pixel art shown off in this trailer, especially for the Flayed Man and whoever this other person / creepy creature is, and it looks like the type of game that will keep you guessing the whole way through. The Flayed Man is coming to PC on the 17th of April. I'll be the first to admit that I arrived to the Wadget Eye Games party very, very late. In fact, the first Wadget Eye game I ever played was Unavowed back in 2022, and boy was I missing out. So I'm very excited to see Dave Gilbert's latest game, Old Skies, is finally being released this month. Again, I've played the demo for this and I just instantly connected with it. The whole time travel aspect thing just does it for me, probably why I'm such a huge Doctor Who fan, and this game is not short on time travel mechanics. You'll play as Thea Quinn, a time travel agent whose job it is to oversee travellers who jump through time to sightsee and do other things. However, as you can imagine, things might not exactly go too smoothly. Old Skies boasts a huge cast of voice actors, including the massively talented Sally Beaumont, who not only plays main character Thea, but was also heavily involved in the writing of this game too. There are 7 different time periods you'll need to travel between, solving a whole host of puzzles as you go, and a killer soundtrack by one of my favourite adventure game music composers, Thomas Reagan. Old Skies is right up there as one of my most anticipated adventure games for this year, and you'll be able to get your hands on it for PC and Nintendo Switch on the 23rd of April. Now, as always, there are other adventure games that didn't make my list this month, so don't forget to let me know what you're going to be playing and which of these you like the look of in the comments section below. A quick reminder that if you play Lost Records, Bloom and Rage, which I mentioned back in February's video, Tape 2, the second chapter of that, will be coming out on April the 15th this month. I didn't include it just because I already did a feature on that in February's video, but that is worth bearing in mind too. So, for now, I will leave you with a couple of things on the screen that you can click to check out some of my ongoing adventure game Let's Plays, and I will see you very soon.